My name is Waheed Rasheed. Today we'll be looking at how to set up Kafka. And the first thing we need to do is we need to download Kafka. So we open our Google search. You can search for download Kafka. Then it takes us to the search result page. You can see download Kafka here from kafka.apache.org. You click this, takes you to the Kafka page. And here you can see some releases of Kafka. We have Kafka 2.1213. There are also other releases here which you can look into. Just make sure you find the right versions that works for you. Mind you, this Kafka 2.12 works with Scala 2.12 and the likes. And just to note, Kafka supports Scala and Python, so either of the two is fine. So when you decide, for now, we'll be downloading this particular version 2.12, and it takes us to the download page. Once you click this, then you start downloading right here, as you can see. Now our download is completed, as you can see right here. So all we need to do is go to the downloaded page. This is our file. You have to extract the file, and we're going to choose to extract it to the C drive. You can decide to extract into any convenient place that you prefer. So it extracts. Now we go to our C drive. We go straight to the file. Here's the file, and if you open it up, you're going to see, and you go down a little bit, then you see the basic files of Kafka. You have the bin directory, the config libs and side docs. Inside the bin directory, we have the script, the shell scripts for Kafka, and here we have the Windows folder. So if you're using a Windows like I am doing right now, you will have to work with this particular part. So before we begin, let's go back and rename and ensure that we easily rename our folder for easy accessibility. Now you can easily rename this to Kafka to make it easier for you, and I also advise that you can bring this out into your main C drive, put it here. So we have our Kafka here right now. So if you open this, then you easily access the bin drive. Now I'm going to be using JitBash. Sorry, I'll be using JitBash. If you don't have JitBash, you can also use your command line by just going to command prompt. If you go to your C drive, here's your C drive, and you can go into your Kafka directory. So when you do directory here, you see the list of folders here. You can see it into your bin, and inside the bin we have the Windows, which you can send the CD into, and here you have the list of files that works with Windows. So we'll be doing a little bit work here, but before we start that, we need to amend some configuration. We go into the config file here, then all these are property files. We are going to edit the server property files. You can open this with any editor of your choice, but for me, I'll be using Sublime. So this is the server properties. You can see different settings there: the broker ID, the number of threads. This define, as you can see, the documentation, the number of threads that the server uses for receiving requests from the network, which is by default it is 3. The IO is 8 by default, and all other default settings, but we are only concerned with the log directory now. For here, we are going to change this into Kafka, and that's all. So we are changing this directory into C drive. so that the temporary logs are, in this particular file. So we can save this and we go back to our editor. Yeah, we are also going to amend this file. We open it with any editor of our choice. I'm using Sublime, and we also change this to go into C drive, Kafka, and that's all for the config. After doing this, the next thing is to open up our command prompt. We are already in this part, which is the part where where our files are, the Kafka files. Now that we have configured our Kafka, so it's time for us to start up our Zookeeper. Ensure that you're in this part, Kafka being Windows. So far you are using a Windows PC. Then you enter your Zookeeper. That server.start.bat, because you're using a Windows. Please take note. Then you have to reference your Zookeeper server settings, the property settings that we configured. That is config / Zookeeper dot properties. So our Zookeeper is up and running. So you need to open up a new command prompt without closing the previous one. Then you go back to your C drive, go into your path, the one just like the one we did earlier on, cd into Kafka being Windows. Now you have to start up your Kafka. Okay, we start our Kafka. So far our Zookeeper is running. Then we'll reference our config file. Server.properties. So our Kafka is up and running. So we have successfully been able to start our configure our Kafka. We downloaded our Kafka. We configure our server properties and Zookeeper properties. And we start up the Zookeeper properties first. Then we start up the Kafka secondly. So we start up our Zookeeper and we start up our Kafka. So Kafka is now up and running, just waiting for event to happen. In other lectures, we'll continue with creating our first Kafka topics and looking into more details like the consumer, the producer, and the likes. Thank you guys for watching. See you soon. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube page. As you do so, don't forget you can also turn on the notification settings. Thank you.